Hey, mathematicians, happy Wednesday. It's Math with Miss Reed. It's also Weird But True Wednesday. So, did you know a weird but true fact is that sometimes when frogs eat fireflies, they glow? So, if you ever see a glowing frog, don't be alarmed, children. They probably just ate a firefly. All right. If you ever have a weird but true fact to share with me, you can do that. Maybe I'll say them on our little show here. All right, math today. We are moving on. I hope that the test went well yesterday. I hope that you're ready to learn a new concept because, friends, we are moving into division today. Division is just the opposite of multiplication. It's just working it backwards from groups. It's dividing things into equal groups. So we're going to look at that in just a second. But how you'll know you're successful today is when you get to the end of the lesson, you should be able to read, write, or draw to help you represent a 2-digit by 1-digit division problem with a remainder. Let's find out more. If my board would work, give me 1 second. Let me put it on the slides. Yes, sorry, technical difficulties. All right, let me see if I can move off this one now. Sorry, friends, for that time waster, but I'm gonna have to do it like this today. Hopefully you can still see that well. I'll move you a little bit closer. All right. We're going to be using the word array, and an array is a set of objects and numbers arranged in order, often in rows and columns. You know how we keep telling you to go to the waffle to get on to Google or Google sign-in? Well, that's an array. Those little shapes, those little squares, right, are arranged in order in rows and columns. Quotient. The word quotient is the answer to a division problem. We're going to use that a lot today. And a remainder is a group or a part that is left over. It's what remains. Hence the word remainder. All right, we're going to take a look at this really quickly today. It says group count to divide. So I'm going to show you just a quick trick. Ready? Whenever I look at division, a lot of kids will be like, I can't divide. Boys and girls, if you can multiply, you can divide. All you're doing is you're working it backwards. So what you're going to do is you're going to skip count by your divisor to this, to your first number. So we're going to skip count from 2 to 8. Ready? 2, 4, 6, 8. What's on your finger? 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Let's do the same thing. 2 to 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What do you get? 6. You just divided. Look how easy this is. We're off to a great start. Ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. You got 9 on your fingers? 18 divided by 2 is 9. 14 divided by 2. What are you going to do? Solve that right now. You got it. It's 7. 15 divided by 5. What are we going to skip count by now? We're going to skip count to 5 until we get to 15. 5, 10, 15. What's on our fingers? 3. That's our answer. Here we go. 5 to 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We have 5 on our hands. That's our answer. We can also work this backwards. So if this is 4, and if this is 3, we said, and this is 9, if you want to find out if you're correct, you work the problems backwards. Because division is the opposite of multiplication, I can work backwards and start with my answer and multiply 4 times 2, and it should equal 8. It does. 3 times 2? Oh, that's not 12. That can't be right. Let's try that again. So if I'm counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, that's 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Yes, then that makes sense. All right. You all are understanding what division is. Let's move on. Take a look at this. Right now, I want you to have your whiteboard out and your marker. If you don't have it out, you need to pause me and get it out right now. I want you to look at this array. This is an array, right? It's a group with columns and rows. It has grouped these little squares. And on your personal whiteboard, I want you to write 2 multiplication sentences to show how many boxes are in this array. Pause and do that. Okay, friends, so 2 multiplication box problems to show what's in this array. I can just simply count these. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 here. So I am doing 3 times 4. It's just an area model broken into little pieces. It's an array. Equals 12. And then I know I could also look at this side first, or I could turn the shape and get 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay. Now I want you to pause me, and I want you to write 2 division sentences for this array. Division. Okay, now that you've written it on your board, you would start with your larger number for division. You would start with your 12 because you have your 12 squares. And then you could divide them into rows of 3, and that would put 4 in each row. Or you could start with your 12 squares. You could divide them by these columns of 4, and it would give you 3. All right, easy as pie. Hopefully you got that. If you didn't, hopefully you see why. They're fact families. We're going to start the business of dividing with remainders. It says, how many groups of 2 are in 10? So to find out how many groups of 2 are in 10, guys, all we have to do is skip count by 2 to 10. Let's do that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. How many is that? 5. There are 5 groups of 2 and 10. It says, let's find out how many groups of 2 are in 11. Ready? Let's try that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah. Because my next number is 12, and I can't go that far because it told me 11. So I'm trying to get as close to that target without going over it. So my target was 11, and I said 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I can't go any higher. So I know, because I wouldn't have equal groups of 2, I know that I can have 5 groups of 2, right? And 5 groups of 2 is 10. But I'm trying to hit 11. So how far is 10 away from 11? Put in my head, 10, 11. It's 1 away. So I have a remainder of 1. That's a little R that I just wrote. It stands for remainder, right? Yes, a remainder of 1. Let's talk more remainders. Let's try these down here. This one says 13 divided by 3. So I know I'm just going to work it backwards and skip count from 3 to 13. Let's see what we come up with. Ready? Here we go. Try it with me. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Oh, you're right. I went too far. My target is 13 that I'm trying to hit. So let's try that again. 3, 6, 9, 12. Can I go any further? No, I can't go any further. And what did I get? What did I get? I got 4. I have 4 groups of 3. And what did I say out loud? 3, 6, 9, 12. I said 12 out loud. So now I have to think, how far is 12 away from my target of 13? It's 1. I just need to go 1 more. So that would be 4, remainder 1. Let's write it out like this and look at it really quickly. 13 divided by 3, sorry, my board is giving up on me today, is 4, remainder 1. If I wanted to check this, do you remember how I just showed you that we would just work it backwards and multiply? But Miss Reed, 4 times 3 is 12. You're right. But here's what we do with the remainder. After we multiply these 2, then we add on the remainder, and we should get our original number. Do we get that? 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Yes, that's how I know I'm correct. Let's try another one. Ready? This one says 15 divided by 5. So we're starting over here by our divisor. We're going to skip count to our target, 15. 5, 10, 15. How many is that? 3, and that was equal. So 15 will split equally, right? If we divide it into 5 groups, each group will have 3 in it. Do you see how that's working? All right, let's try this one. 17 divided by 5. So my small number tells me what I'm counting by. So I'm counting by, what is it? 5s until I hit what target? 17, right? I'm trying to see if I take 17 and split it into 5 groups, how many would be in each group? Because division is just putting things into equal groups. So let's skip count by that 5. Here we go. 5, 10, 15. Can't go any further because I'm going to hit 20. I'm at 15, but what's on my fingers? 3, right? Because I counted by 5 each time. 5, 10, 15. So 3 will go into each of those group of 5. And I said 15. I'm listening to what I said. 15. How far away am I from my target? That's the second step I need to do all the time. So I will put 15 in my head, and I'll count up to 17. 15, 16, 17. I'm 2 away, so it's a remainder of 2. Now let's check that and see if that works. Ready? We're going to start with our 3, and we're going to multiply it. Because remember, multiplication is the opposite of division, just like in addition and subtraction. All right, so 3 times 5 is 15. Oh, my remainder, I have to add it on. 15, first I multiply these 2. Then I add my remainder on, 16, 17. Yes, that matches. Okay, let's move it forward. All right, this is the concept development. And the concept development, it is a division problem. And it is saying, hopefully you can see that in there. I know there's a little bit of a glare, and my board is not cooperating like I would like it to, but that's okay. It is saying that there are 12 students in PE class separated into 4 equal teams. Let's say we walked into Mr. Bennett's room. He's like, there's 12 of you. I mean, which could be valid this year with our whole COVID numbers, right? So there are 12 of you, and I want to separate you into 4 equal teams. How many students are on each team? I want you to think about that. It says to draw an array to represent the division. So we have 12 students and 4 equal teams. So I'm going to go down here, and here's where I build my array. All right. So if I want to divide them into 4 equal teams, I can just start here and put a child here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There, they're the leaders of their team, right? These are going to be the 4 teams. But I have to get up to what? 12. So this already counts as 1, 2, 3, 4 that I've separated. Now I'm going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did I hit my target? Did I hit my 12? Yes. Okay, and I have this is my 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. So if I circle team 1, how many are in team 1? 3. How many students are on each team? 3. I have 4 different teams with 3 students on each team. Are you following that? Okay, I would not circle it this way because if I did that, I would only have 1, 2, 3 teams. He told me to give him 4 teams. All right, so far so good. Could you have also skip counted from 4 to 12 like that? Yes. This is the conceptual. This is just showing it with your brain. All right, let's take a look at this. We have 13 divided by 4. Someone walks in. They're an extra student in the class, right? So you start to work it out, and look what happens. You have your 1 team, 2 team, 3 team, 4 team, already with 3 on a team. 1 extra person comes in, and they're a remainder of 1. Now, Mr. Bennett would put them on a team, but that is what's remaining, right? And we could figure the same thing out from skip counting by our divisor to our target. 4, 8, 12, 3 on my fingers. I said 12. How far is 12 away from 13? It's 1 away. 3 remainder 1. Division. Simple. You've got this. Remainders, no problem. All right, let's take a look. How can you use multiplication to check your work? Glad you asked. We've already gone over this. We'll do it again. No, we can work it backwards. 3 times 4. What is it, friends? 3 times 4 equals 12. Remember to add on that remainder. Plus 1. Boom, you're right back at your 13. See how that works backwards? You've got that. All right. Ooh, they're going to give us a harder problem. It says now there are 13 students in PE class and exactly 3 are needed on a team. So we're going to take 13 and we have to divide it equally into 3 groups. So you could just start at your target, your divisor, and skip count to your target by 3s. Or if you need a picture of it, that's okay too. Our brains work all different ways. So I have 3 students are needed on each team. Ooh, right? That could be hard. So now we're working it backwards. If I only need 3 students on a team, I would skip count like this. And I would go 3, 6, 9, 12. I would get 4, remainder 1. See how we did it backwards this time? 13 with 3 students on each team. Everyone see that? We would get 4. There would be 4 teams that could be made. Everybody good with that? Okay. And that could be if I do this, if I do into 3, and then I was like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This would be my oddball 13, right? And then I could circle these by 3 like this. See how they're different now? Because now I have 3 with 4 in each one. That would represent this. 3 with 4 in each one and a remainder of 1. Okay, but the quick trick is to skip count from the divisor to that first number. So let's do that real quick. Let's skip count from 6 to 13 and solve this. Here we go. 6, 12. What's the answer? 2. We're at 12. How far is 12 away from 13? 12, 13. 1 away. Remainder 1. I want to check it. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1 is 13. Boom. Drop the mic, right? If you wanted a picture for that, don't look at that because that's confusing. If you wanted a picture for that, you would just go and do your, 13, 6 dots, right? And then you would add on. All right, fine, I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm trying to hit 13. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I stopped at 6 because it wanted it in 6 equal groups. That's why my 6 dots. But I had to count all the way up to 13. And you guys can see that when I group these, there's 2 in each one with 1 remaining. Moving on. Okay, 13 roses divided equally into 4 vases. So now we're at 13 divided by 4. So something that you could do is you could start doing your 1, 2, 3, 4 array and keep counting on until you get up to 13. And the reason I only made 4 is because we're dividing it by 4, right? You would have to keep going. A quick way to do it is just skip count from the 4 to the 13. 4, 8, 12. We can't go any higher, right? We can't go above our target. 12, so we got 3 on our fingers. We said 12 out loud. How far is 12 away from 13? 1. Remainder 1. Boom. All right, this one, there you got the numbers a little higher here, right? Allison has 22 meters of fabric. She uses 3 meters of fabric for each dress. After how many dresses will Allison need to buy more fabric? So now we're doing 22 divided by 3. Oh, good, I gave myself a space. 22 divided by 3. If you want to, you could do the array and you would do your dots. You would do 3 because that's that, but then you'd have to keep counting all the way up to what? Your target, 22 for your picture, right? To see how much is left over. I'm going to go ahead and skip count out loud to save us some time. Here we go. Skip count with me by 3s to 21 without going over. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Whoops, sorry. 21. How many fingers is that? 7. And I can't go any higher or I would go above that. So I said 21. How far is 21 away from 22? It's 1 away. It's 1 away. So the question said, after how many dresses will Allison need to buy more fabric? She uses 3 meters of fabric for each dress. She has 22 meters, right? So she can make 7 dresses, right, with what she has. But over that, is she going to need to buy more? Yes. So after she makes 7 dresses, when she hits the 8th dress, she's going to need more fabric. Okay, I want you to go ahead and pause this. I want you to get out your problem set, and we are going to go over some of that together in just a second. So pause the video. Hey friends, right now I want you to turn to lesson 14 in your module 3 workbook. Get to lesson 14, pause me right now until you get there with your pencil in hand. Okay, I'm going to continue speaking. It is so important right now that every day you continue to practice your math at home in your problem set just like you would at school. We are growing as learners. This is not a timeout. We're moving on together, right? Over the computer, but we're moving on together. We're growing our brains. So right now I need you to complete the problem set for lesson 14, module 3. I'm about to show you the answers to the problem set, and let me tell you why. So you can check your thinking. You can say, oh, I got this. I did well with this. Or you can be like, whoa, I'm way off. I missed every one of these. Here's why this is so important that you take your temperature as a learner to see where you're at. If you're missing a lot of these, if you don't understand something when I show you these answers, you need to email your teacher. You need to reach out. She will meet with you. There will be a small group, and she can clear up any misconceptions you're having before you get to the exit ticket, which is a Google form today. So here come the problem set answers. You're checking your thinking. You already did them. If you didn't do them yet, then you pause this and you work hard. You have that grit because you care about your learning and you want to grow as a mathematician. All right, here come the answers. You can freeze this and check your thinking. This is answer number 1. It was 9, remainder 1. There's 9 pairs of socks and 1 without a match. Answer number 2 is 4 bows with 4 inches left. Answer number 3 is 5 chairs, remainder 2. Answer number 4 is 5, remainder 2. She'll need to buy more flour after 5 days. Answer number 5 is 9, remainder 4. Caleb will use 72 apples, 4 will not be used. Number 6, it's 6, remainder 3. And 7 vans are going to be required. I should fix that. Should have been a 7. Sorry, 7 vans will be required to get everyone to the beach because if it's 6, remainder 3, you're not just going to leave 3 people behind. So in this case, determining what to do with the remainder is a big deal, which means you're going to need another van so you don't have 3 people standing on the side of the road like, hey, people, how come you left us behind? All right, I'm so proud of you for working hard and working through your problem set. It is your job every day as a mathematician to work on those problem set problems and then to check yourself here. Now is the time to either reach out to your teacher or say, okay, I've got it, and you're going to go to the math activity and do the exit ticket. All right, friends, see you tomorrow.